Hey. Yes. We do hear a little bit. Well, maybe listen, I also have scratches. You want to hear? Okay. Absolutely. You want to hear? All right, cool. Who want to go first? Why not go first?
Because yours is more efficient than.
See how quick they agree on something?
That might be
Stop
dangerous.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, we are filled with a mix of emotions, gratitude, reverence, and even a touch of melancholy. We are here to honor remarkable individuals whose lives and work have profoundly impacted our communities and beyond. Today we celebrate the retirement of our beloved spiritual elders. And just a point of like legitimacy, we do use beloved for people who have passed away. So I'm not calling them like our beloved, like they passed away. I'm just saying like we love the hell out of them, you know? Spiritual elders and teachers and political activists. Because like I'm telling y'all, Buddhist work is absolutely activism. Right? Like we can't do this every single place we go. But these folks got us doing it intercontinentally. You know what I'm saying? When I say political activists, that's the word that I'm talking about. Getting us doing magic, connecting with our spirit and spiritualities, like while we in our own homes, while we got like this degree of safety and got us building communities with each other where one becomes two and two becomes many and more work is getting done and more progress is being made. You know, but that's what I mean when I say political activism, you know? You feel me on that? So that's why I use those two terms to discuss the two of you in life. From the very beginning, Lord Don and Lady Crystal have been a beacon of light and wisdom. Born into a time of great change and uncertainty, they have navigated the complexities of life with unwavering grace and fortitude. Their journey has been one of deep spiritual commitment and relentless pursuit of justice and enduring dedication to education. As spiritual elders, Lord Don and Lady Crystal have been a guiding star, offering solace and enlightenment to countless souls. Their teachings have transcended the mere transmission of knowledge. They have imparted a sense of peace, purpose, and connection to something greater than ourselves. In moments of personal and collective turmoil, they have been our anchor, reminding us of the timeless truths that bind us all. In the realm of education, they have been more than teachers, they have been mentors, confidants, and inspirations to very many of us. Globally, their classroom was not confined to the four walls, but extended into the very fabric of our daily lives. Right? You know what I mean when I say that, right? You can almost hear the degree. Like, you know what I mean, right?
Yes. Yes.
Their legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of all of those they have taught and have touched. In the field of political activism, the impact has been very profound. In a world often marked by injustice and inequality, they have been tireless advocates for marginalized people. If you continue to think about the horrendous things that happen to witches worldwide. It also gives us a clue as to a little bit about what our work is as people who can celebrate openly and publicly in parks and pagan pride days, continuing that activist work. We have a responsibility to do it for those who do not have that privilege, Now, as we celebrate their retirement, we also acknowledge that their work is far from over. Retirement for some, for someone like Lord Don in particular, does not signify an end. pass on the torch to the next generation. And while we're down, they step back from the front lines. Their spirit and legacy will continue to guide us daily, right? Like we're acknowledging that the wheel does turn. We acknowledge that something phenomenal happened that brought us to terms with how much we actually love them, right? A cardiac incident is not the same as stubbing your toe, right? So we all got a taste of our own mortality and the fact that we're gonna have to fend for ourselves at some point. And so while it was a fluke, we are lucky enough to be able to be here and tell him all the things that we would not have been able to say if the issue went in a different way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So be blessed for that. For all of your years of work, inspiration, advocacy, looking out for us, bringing us material to study, to learn, to grow, encouraging us to think for ourselves. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. That was your choice. They all watched you win.
I want to take you guys back in time for a moment to when I was a teenager in the early 2000s. So imagine for a second that you're a teenager. You're sitting in your house. You love mythology. You love nature. You're more world-wise than most of your peers. You don't have any close friends. The internet is a hopeful portal. On your computer, one day, you type in pagan, you type in witchcraft, you type in Wicca, pretty much anything you saw in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you type that in that baby.
Gotta think about that a half a second.
You find school.com. Blue Gold website, witchschool.com. You start exploring. Not only do you find which school, but you found this community you didn't know existed that fits you. You start connecting with people all over the country. You meet another teenager from Buffalo. From wherever. And you start forming these lifelong bonds. You find a whole spiritual family that fulfills you in a way that you didn't even know that you needed in your life, that you didn't even know that you were looking for. Crystal or Dawn, that is your legacy. We are your legacy. A bunch of us teenagers and 20-somethings access to a world that we had only dreamed about at a time when most places were closed practice or rooms were impossible to find. Please know that your legacy is in safe hands. That we will honor it always with open doors and open hearts, just like you did, just like you always have. You have selflessly given your time, your energy, your art, and your love to us, to this tradition. You are a steadfast example of spirituality and resilience, and I'm honored to know you. Lady Crystal, you are a beacon of love and of light, and you patiently and lovingly guided a teenager who didn't know what to do with their psychic talent, didn't know what to do with the things that they saw in the world. And you taught them soul retrieval. and you taught them meditation, and you taught them lucid dreaming, you taught me those things. And they serve me in life almost every day. Lord Don and Lady Crystal were the foundation of my spiritual growth practice, from which the tree grew and the roots went down. And that tree is also our tradition. We are all its branches. So we honor you and we love you with whole hearts. I will have that crying.
And he almost lost it against the house.
Anybody else have a message for Lady Crystal or Lord Don? I'm gonna ask you to come up one by one so the microphone can pick you up. Any takers?
I know it's scary because we so awesome, but y'all could do it.
I'll start.
Okay. Thank you.
I have been really blessed just to live in Danville. Not very many people will hear say that. Or, and a lot of people struggle to live here. I know some people who lost the struggle to live here in Danville. That's pretty sad. But on to happier things. In Tilton, there was a center called Tilton Center of Love and Gratitude, and that's just south of here. And when I attended, I attended at the invitation of Susan Dancy Starr and Lady Bitterwing, which I always did. Virginia Smith attended there as well. And I got to meet this group in Vermilion County of psychics that were so strong and so powerful. And I really, and I connected with this group of crones in Vermilion County. And from there, I was saddened when my dear friend Virginia Smith passed away, and I attended the funeral and I met Dawn, and I had already been a student of witch school since 2017, so I was familiar with all the teachings, and it's just someplace that I went to learn more, along with my other vast resources. This path on my own, with my own main offices, a long time down. And it's brought me to here, it's brought me to where Dawn into retirement. It just so happened he was a neighbor. And I was able to, I get to him Peonies before I didn't know about this tradition this long. So last Thursday he received peonies from my garden. And I really appreciate you so much. I love
What's up? What's up?
because and I had a whole, I had an agent needed to go, and I think I found it here, with my ever-growing, family of pagans and witches that I met just in this area. And I was, but, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you came. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ooh, last one.
So, I'd like to address you and Lady Crystal. I'm not Correllian, but I've been around for a few years. You took your family tradition, the both of you did, and something that within our circles is usually kept close and not opened up. And you created this. And I am amazed that I do it. I have been on the ground floor of starting a tradition that's still small. Stitches work, but good. When I met you at Lustration in Buffalo a few years ago, we talked about how you had to evolve.
Yep.
And I know that Crystal also was involved in the evolution. And I just want your whole tradition to understand how important what they did is, because they opened it up to people beyond their bloodline. And I don't know how. No, I do know how. And they let them know. Publish the books. This internet thing is new. Get on that. This is still a mystery tradition. I recognize that. But you took the mystery and you provided a foundation for so many people, teenagers, who wouldn't find it in their own families. And as someone who started this before the internet was really big, could not find it anywhere else. So if any of you don't really understand the scope of what you are involved in, this man and Lady Crystal brought you worldwide something that has been hidden on purpose and has helped you build a foundation to find yourselves and to learn the old way. And for that, sir and lady. Earned it.
That was
Thank you. So, everyone, thank you for those watching at home. We're gonna continue celebrating Lord Durham.
hold on. We gotta move on from this part, but y'all will still have fun. Okay? Like y'all can still just gotta move from this part, okay?
Okay.
Alright? Alright?
Yeah.
Okay?
What?
Yeah, okay? Cool.
She spoke already. Okay.
So.
Oh, that's new. Lord Durham, would you like to say a few?
Sadly, the dinner is waiting. I won't say food. All weekend long, I've been talking about all of this stuff. I've been talking about the challenges. The 19th story. How wonderful it is to see new people come up, especially young people. You know, a couple of years ago, I would not have anticipated this tournament. But I think that things are moving in a very good direction. I also want to say Lady Crystal and I both gave our lives to it, so we are not the only ones. We could have written everything that we wrote, and taught everything that we've taught, and most of you would never have seen it if it weren't for that. And it was the partnership that brought us onto the internet, which is why we're here. And I don't want to distract us from our dinner, but I want to take a moment and acknowledge that other people were involved. And I hope that we are mindful of those other people. And that going forward will be far more. Nothing happens because one person does. Everything in the end is partnership. A little over a year ago, I tried to explain something to someone who hoped to be my successor. I'm going to say it again, and that is that you can inspire people, you cannot command them. You can lead people, you cannot force them. In the end, everything you do is a partnership. Some of those partnerships are more important than others, but they're all partnerships. And we're all in it together. And everyone from the person who just walked through the door for the very first time to the senior members of the priesthood are all partners in this project. It is a group effort. And again, our online journey was one of the most important parts in my lifetime of that effort. And one person was mostly responsible for that. It really was not me. Oh, I was that. Many years ago, I spoke to David and the ancestors, and I said, what do Christians know that we don't? That wasn't the answer. And we have tried to expand our knowledge and our view ever since with tremendous success. And I'm grateful to everyone who helped with that, and particularly certain people. And I just want to take this moment to say it now. And I'm grateful to all of you for carrying this all forward. And Phoenix and Alyssa, don't fuck it up.